In this city of forgotten sins and polished lies, they call me the cleaner, a ghost in a bespoke suit. When the powerful make a mess, I make it disappear. Blood, evidence, and bodies all vanish before the first siren wails. I'm the architect of alibis, the silent partner to the city's darkest secrets. My work is my art, sterile, invisible, and absolute. Tonight, the canvas is a penthouse, perched high above the glittering sprawl, a jewel box in the sky. The client, Mr. Torrance, a man whose name is whispered in fear and written in red ink across the city's ledger. The job, standard procedure. A high-level hit, untraceable. The elevator glides up, a silent ascent into the clouds. The doors hiss open to a world of marble and glass. The air is thick with the coppery temps of fresh violence and the lingering scent of expensive cologne. It's a familiar perfume. My tools are in my hands. My mind is a checklist of procedures. Bleach, luminol, solvents. Every stain has its counteragent. Every loose thread, a place to be tucked away. But then I see him. Sprawled on a white rug, now stained crimson, lies the reason for the call. And the world stops. The checklist in my head evaporates. My blood runs cold, colder than the marble floor beneath my feet, because the face staring lifelessly at the crystal chandelier is my brother's, Leo, the estranged, reckless, beautiful fool of a brother I hadn't spoken to in 5 years. Panic is a luxury I can't afford. Mr. Torrance is on a timer. His men will be here soon to confirm the scene is sterile. My life depends on my perfection. To hesitate is to join Leo on that floor. My hands, usually so steady, tremble as I pull on the latex gloves. Every fiber of my being screams to run, to grieve, to rage. But survival is a colder, more patient instinct. I must clean this. I must erase every trace of what happened here. I must erase every trace of my brother. But as I begin my work, a new, chilling resolve takes root in the pit of my stomach. Grief is a fire, and mine is forging a new plan. Torrance doesn't know Leo was my brother. He thinks I'm just the help, an unfeeling machine. He's about to learn how wrong he is. I work with a surgeon's precision, my grief channeled into a cold, meticulous rage. The obvious evidence vanishes first. The shell casings, the blood spatter on the window, the overturned glass. Each wipe of my cloth is a eulogy. Each drop of chemical, a tear I cannot shed. My mind is a split screen. One side is the cleaner, following the protocols that have kept me alive for a decade. The other side is the brother, cataloguing every detail, every wound, every desecration. I see the struggle. I see the defiance in Leo's final moments. He didn't go down easy, and he will not be forgotten. I will clean this scene so perfectly that the police will find nothing. They will call it a ghost crime, a dead end. But I'm not cleaning for them. My real work begins in the margins, in the microscopic details no one else would ever look for. There's a detective in this city, a woman named Isabella Rossi. They call her the Bulldog. Incorruptible, relentless, with an eye for the details others miss. She's the only cop Torrance fears, and I'm about to give her the case of her career. Under the nail of Leo's index finger, so small it's almost invisible, I plant a single, unique fiber. A synthetic thread from a custom-made suitor suit, I know for a fact Torrance wore to the opera last Tuesday. It's nothing on its own, circumstantial, but it's a start. It's a whisper in the dark. Next, the air vents. I use a microapplicator to deposit a minuscule sample of a rare pollen. A pollen that only grows in one place in this region, the private botanical garden on Torrance's country estate. Another whisper. It won't point directly to him, not at first, but it will lead Rossi down a path. It will plant a seed of doubt, a question in her brilliant mind. Where has this victim been? Who does he associate with? The police will sweep the penthouse and find it immaculate. They'll be stumped. But Rossi, she'll order a deep forensic analysis. She always does. And she will find my breadcrumbs. She won't know they were planted. She thinks she's a genius, uncovering a sloppy mistake by the killer. Let her. Her pride will be my weapon. The final piece of my puzzle is the most dangerous. I take Leo's personal phone. The police will assume the killer took it. I wipe it clean of my own prints. But before I dispose of it, I transfer a single corrupted data file to a burner device. The file is a heavily encrypted ledger. It's meaningless without a key. But buried in the corrupted data is a string of numbers, a time stamp, and a set of coordinates. The coordinates lead to a defunct warehouse in the Docks district. The time stamp corresponds to another one of Torrance's unsolved problems from 6 months ago. Rossi won't be able to crack the file, but she'll find the geotag. Another piece that doesn't fit. A penthouse murder connected to a derelict warehouse. It's an anomaly, and Isabella Rossi lives for anomalies. The job is almost done. The penthouse is pristine. The smell of bleach has replaced the smell of death. It looks like a showroom, untouched and sterile. I stand back and survey my work. A perfect crime scene. A perfect alibi for a monster. But beneath the polished surface I've woven a tapestry of vengeance. A silent, invisible web that leads directly to Mr. Torrance. It's not the justice Leah deserved, not the justice of a courtroom. It's my justice, the justice of a ghost. I take one last look at the pristine white rug where my brother lay. I feel nothing but a cold, hollow space where my heart used to be. My grief is now a weapon, and it is aimed. I dispose of my tools, my suit, the burner Fernor, scattered across the city in untraceable locations. I call Torrance from a secure line. It's done, I say. My voice is steady, betraying nothing. He grunts his approval and hangs up. He thinks he's safe. He thinks I'm his loyal servant. He doesn't know that I just signed his death warrant. Now, all I have to do is wait. I will watch from the shadows as Detective Rossi pulls on the threads I've left for her. It will be slow. It might take months, even a year, but she will not stop. And each step she takes toward him will be a tribute to Leo. Each question she asks will be my scream of rage. Tonight, I am not just the cleaner. I am an avenger. I have turned my art against my master. I have painted a masterpiece of misdirection, a velvet alibi that conceals a ticking bomb. Torrance will sleep soundly tonight, confident in his power, secure in his fortress of wealth. He won't see the ghost in his machine. He won't hear the footsteps of the bulldog approaching his door. But I will. I'll be listening, because in this city, justice is a rare commodity. And sometimes you have to create it yourself, in the dark, with nothing but your grief and a well-placed lie. Sleep well, if you can. The story is just beginning. Thanks for watching.